Hjärtligt välkomna!
Well, this is the book, Hjärtats, tidevarv. My dear friend Åsa, she wanted to interpret it into Swedish, which is the result of Hjärtats. I think of myself as a map maker of the inner realms, because the inner life and the spiritual life are what fascinate me, what I'm passionate about, bringing consciousness and heart, linking them. And so the writing, the map making, is about that journey. And the work in this book is about that journey. And if any of you have tried to follow the heart, it's Hjärtats tidevarv, season of the heart, awakening of the heart. And I think where we are as a humanity, I'll come back to the journey piece, where we are as a humanity at the moment is an incredible moment. Consciousness is in a race with catastrophe, perhaps. We either awaken to the wisdom and knowing of our hearts and our feelings and bring awareness to that journey, or we continue with the habitual, conditioned responses to life and operate from mind alone without heart, and that is a dangerous path. And you can see the results of that in terms of what's happening to the environment, in terms of what's happening to people being burnt out, the miserable faces you can see around you has a lot to do with not having the aliveness of who we are present. So I feel like it's an important issue that we connect with our hearts, follow our hearts. Following the heart might sound easy. Any of you who have tried it will know it is not. It is a challenging path. Two reasons. When you follow your heart, follow what you love, and you said it right now. When you start out, you don't know about the difficulties, but boy, oh boy, do you know about the difficulties once you start to follow that path. And one of the reasons, I believe, is that all the old emotional wounds and belief systems in us that stand between us and fully inhabiting our lives will come up. So a light of awareness can be shone on them, and we can soften around them. And that ain't always fun. Sometimes therapy is needed, awareness is needed, self-compassion is needed. Retreat, stillness, there's a book over here called Tystnad. Stillness is a crucial part of the journey, and in a Western society we don't like to be still. Let's drink the coffee, let's have the Coca-Cola, let's do everything to keep us high, up, busy, lights 24/7, don't like the dark anymore. Even though in Sweden you cannot escape it, you don't know what the blessing is that you have dark winters. Huge blessing. In the darkness you can go in and find the light within. In the overstimulation of all this external light keeps you up. Nothing wrong with being up, but that's only one side of the story. You need to be able to go down, stop, feel in the stillness and in the silence. Often what will come up first is the wound, and then what's underneath it. Yourself in communion with existence, which is one of the biggest blessings you can find. So this work is about things like that. It's also when you follow your heart, you get to feel. How much fun is that? You feel joy, but you feel pain. You feel life. You'll have a rich experience of life. And as American poet E. Cummings once said, when you feel, you are nobody but yourself. You're nobody but yourself when you feel. When you think, you can be all sorts of other people. Their ideas, their language, indoctrinated stuff, but when you feel, you're nobody but yourself. And in a world that's doing its best night and day to make you everybody else, it's a very hard path to find your own integrity, your own heart, and the courage to follow that. And it does make you quiver at times. And so it's not an easy thing to do, to awaken the heart, but it seems to me at this time to be essential. And the other thing that's part of this is in the book, apart from the stillness, following the heart, healing the wounds, that I also think is essential at this time, and that is the way we relate to ourselves and each other. You need a lot of self-compassion for this journey, Sides of you will come up that you will think, the critic will come up. I'm not a person like that. How could I do that? That person shouldn't have done that. All the judgments, the criticisms, all of that will close your heart. The single thing that will get more in the way of your relationship with yourself or somebody else is a judgment, a demand, or a criticism. As soon as somebody hears that, as soon as you hear it from yourself, the heart closes. Heart closes, connection is not possible. So it's a huge practice, self-compassion. Oh, here's the critical voice again, sending you love. I know you want the best for me, thank you, and we're following something deeper. And just to finish before I hand over to Åsa, I saw a program on the television about wolves, and it was a documentary, and they were wolves in Austria, and there was a researcher trying to understand about that wolf behaviour, and there was a documentary maker who had come to go into this area where the wolves were, and the documentary maker was terrified. I'm going into where the wolves are. Maybe they'll attack me. He was absolutely terrified. And I'll just wait a moment. Just wait for people to settle down and we'll continue my last little story, these wolves. So that he's in this large enclosure where the wolves are. The documentary maker very anxious. The person who's studying the wolves saying, don't be afraid. As long as you let yourself be and let the wolves be, they will not attack you. Mm-hmm. If you come at the wolf with any expectation of what the wolf should do, if you come at the wolf with hierarchy, trying to pat it or approach it, if you bring anything in you other than simple presence, allowing them to be wolf, allowing you to be you, then you're in danger. And I thought, my God, is ever that the message for us? What we need to learn. Let ourselves be. Oh, please, let ourselves be. Let each other be. That is the gift, the space out of which safety and love can flower. And you can't have love without a certain degree of safety. They go together. So that message, tender relating, I like to call it, is also in the book. So now I will hand over to my dear friend Åsa, who will say some words in Swedish.
And then här i den här boken, det är kärlek. Och det är också relationer, men inte vilka som helst. Det är relationer på ett lite djupare plan, hur vi relaterar till varandra som medmänniskor. Framförallt till oss själva och till varandra, men också till Moder Jord. Och Nannas budskap ytterst är att om inte vi lär oss det här och praktiserar det sättet att vara som medmänniskor, då kan det vara avgörande för mänsklighetens framtid på jorden. Helt enkelt. Så starkt och så stort är det här. Och det kändes så viktigt för mig att göra det här på svenska. Och jag kan inte låta bli att säga att det är ju faktiskt den absolut i särklass bästa julklappen. Hjärtats tidevarv. Hjälpa finna vägar. Vara sådana som ger stöd och näring åt det nya medvetna som kommer fram. Hellre än att hålla fast vid gammalt känt.
Might we find and be the forms that nourish and support humanity. Might we find and be the forms, the ways of being that nourish and support humanity. Might we find the courage to inhabit the cœur âge and enter the season of the heart. Okay.